Hello YouTube, shintigercurl here, that dude in the straw hat bringing you yet another awesome video. It is Sunday, it's Saturday, 10:50 a.m. here in Houston, Texas. And I've got some breaking news for you. I want to thank my good friend and subscriber, Dante Nickings, for this little bit of information that was just dropped into my lap. He posted it on Facebook, tagged me in the post as I was watching Evolution. This is coming directly from the eWrestlingNews.com website, and a report as follows. Breaking news, MVP gone from TNA Wrestling due to the Hernandez situation. And I'm going to read the report as follows by one Ryan Clark, just in case you want to know. The Hernandez Lucha Underground issue has cost TNA yet another part of its roster. As previously reported, Hernandez signing with TNA and using impact taping and would use during impact tapings when it turned out he was still under contract for Lucha Underground still has forced TNA to cut him and scrap a ton of already taped programming. And now it appears MVP is gone due to the whole deal as well. MVP took to Twitter, making several postings that suggested he's done with the company and available for indie bookings. These are MVP's tweets. Dear at TNA Dear Impact Wrestling, I dedicate this classic to you. It was fun, and involved and embedded was a video, Bad Brains Sailing On. I haven't heard the music, but I'm guessing it's something of a goodbye for him. Another tweet, available for bookings, book MVP now at gmail.com. And another one stating, the BDC is dead, but never in spirit. There were stories floating around since yesterday that MVP had in fact left the company, but sources wouldn't confirm it. MVP had initially pushed for Hernandez to be signed, and all footage involving the BDC had to be scrapped because of the whole thing. MVP signed with TNA back in February of last year and was under contract through the next February. TNA has yet to officially confirm his departure. End quote. So, for those of you who are uninitiated, the situation was as thus. Hernandez, also known as Hot Stuff Hernandez, a TNA favorite as he was a part of one of its most successful tag teams with Homicide as LAX, the Latin American Exchange. He's been off and on with the company since then, but no one has really seen hide nor hair of him since TNA made the jump from Spike TV to Destination America. Now, recently, he appeared on Lucha Underground on the Array Network and has stated that and has shown that they have signed him to a contract. And he has been doing some good things in Lucha Underground, even in line for several title shots against the first Lucha Underground champion, Prince Puma. A few weeks ago, Hernandez made his return to TNA Wrestling, assuming that he was working both a deal with both. Assuming he either left Lucha Underground or there was something in his contract that allowed him to work other shows, or Lucha Underground and TNA had a working relationship, which I doubt. So it was revealed earlier this week that Hernandez was actually not. Well, according to the sources I've heard, Hernandez said to the TNA officials that he was no longer under contract with Lucha Underground when they asked him if he was still working with the company. Of course, he said no, but TNA officials learned later this week that when in contact with the Lucha Underground officials, that Hernandez was indeed still under contract with Lucha Underground, and because of the contract, he was not supposed to be working. When you're under contract with certain companies, you're not supposed to go and work for other federations unless those two federations have a pre-existing working deal going on, similar to what's going on between ROH and New Japan, which allows both companies to have stars from each other's companies appear on their products. Like a few weeks ago, I saw Shinsuke Nakamura face Roderick Strong on ROH television. I think that's the first time I've ever seen a Shinsuke Nakamura on network television here in the United States. I may be wrong. Let me know. But that's how that working relationship happens. Unfortunately, I don't believe that I certainly don't believe that Lucha Underground and TNA have a sort of working relationship where they can trade talent back and forth and have their talent appear on each other's programming. So essentially, what Hernandez did was essentially he wanted to get paid for working both shows, even though he wasn't supposed to do that. And he all but lied to the TNA officials when they asked him if he was still under contract. Now, there can only draw two conclusions for this for Hernandez. Either one, he didn't know he couldn't do this, which is bullshit because Hernandez should know by now what he can and can't do as far as wrestling goes. Or two, he knew well enough about this, knowing that this was not a good idea to do, but he still did it anyway. So, because of this, TNA had to cut him for pretty much lying to them and bullshitting them. And because TNA pre-tapes their programs or shows at least a month or two in advance, they had to cut a lot of content away from this because in TNA, Hernandez was booked as being a part of the heel faction, the BDC, or the Beatdown Clan. And they figured prominently in TNA's programming. So this was a big blow to TNA. And now to lose yet another member of their roster with MVP walking. So yeah, and he quit because of this. And I'm not sure if he quit because, and according to the article, he was high on having having of having Hernandez being signed to the company and working closely with him as part of the BDC storyline. But so this might have been the last. But not just that, but the fact that a lot of the content that they had recorded and shot for the BDC was now gone. They had to cut that shit out. So those two factors are the primary reason why MVP is no longer with the company. And this is a very big blow to TNA as a whole because as of recently, quite a number of superstars from TNA have left the company. Most notably, I think James Storm is he James? I don't know. Quite a few of them, most notably Austin Aries, have left the company. Austin Aries have just finished a best of 5 series with his tag partner Bobby Roode as the Dirty Heels against Davey Richards and Eddie Edwards, the Wolves, for the tag team titles. So yeah, they're cutting a lot of stuff, and this does not look good for TNA. I'm not saying this is the death knell for TNA, but this doesn't look good when you're cutting talent left, and when talent is either being cut for various reasons or talent is leaving for various reasons. So this doesn't look good for you, TNA, and they're already bleeding money as is. And with this whole with low ratings, the fact that the supposedly biggest match of Impact's recent history, EC3 versus Kurt Angle, was not only not shown at their pay-per-view Slammiversary, but was primarily moved to a free show on television just for the boost the ratings. It doesn't look good for TNA. These are kind of mistakes that can fuck over a company. Now, I'm not saying that the Hernandez thing was their fault. I'd say it's a little bit of their fault because they really should have looked into it. They really should have looked into it. But I can understand he's a long-time guy. He's been with the company for a long time, so they kind of took him at his word until they did some background checks and saw that hey, he was kind of bullshitting them. But for them to lose, they already lost Loki. Loki's gone, and Joe, of course, is no longer part of the group. So the BDC is officially done. The only people left with the BDC is, I think, Kenny King and somebody else. I don't know. I think Homicide may be still there. I don't know. I haven't been watching as closely as I should be. But yeah, this is a tense situation. So anyway, even though TNA has not officially acknowledged it, it could change in the next couple of hours or the next couple of days. And we may hear something official from TNA as of the status of Mr. Montel Vontavious Porter. But as it stands, according to his Twitter, he is no longer affiliated with TNA. He is gone. So I don't know. So anyway, that's my video. If you like what you see, link, comment, subscribe below. Got any questions, comments, or want to discuss the situation in any shape or regard? Leave it below. I will get back to you. You want to support the channel? Just give a nice little ruffian kick to that like button, or click the advertisements that you see on this on this video. It really does help out a lot. Or at the very least, the tip jars up there. You know what to do. So until next time, this has been shintigercurl, that dude in the straw hat, saying good day. And goddamn it, Tina, you just can't catch a break nowadays. Damn.